First of all, I would like to thank the Journalists Association of Catalonia and the Mediterranean Observatory of Communication for inviting Al Jazeera network to this international seminar, and also for the warm welcome and generosity we have received. It is also my honor and pleasure to represent Al Jazeera in this forum and meet with colleagues to exchange ideas and discuss such an increasingly important subject, the right to information and communication, which is worthy of every effort to advance this basic of human rights as we live the consequences of the technological developments and advances made in the field of communications. I must also say that I was impressed by the visionary project which the Minister of Culture of Catalonia has revealed, and his futuristic vision of how he would like Catalonia to develop within a Mediterranean relationship. It was suggested to me to spend 5 to 7 minutes on introducing my establishment and 15 minutes on my presentation. This is a very generous offer, but I shall try to be economic, and any time spared, then we'll have it added to the question time afterwards. So I know that perhaps most of you may have heard of Al Jazeera before now, and perhaps read about it because a lot was written about Al Jazeera since its launch on the 1st of November 1996. That is just over 13 years ago. Into a scene of wild and horrific landscape in the Middle East, the mother channel of the network came into being. I say horrific actually when you think of the conditions in Iraq, in Palestine, in Sudan, in Algeria, in Somalia. All these are within the Arab world, and now in Yemen. This is all in Arab countries that belong to the Arab League. So Al Jazeera was born into this sort of conditions. It was, in that sense, a phenomenon with no precedent in Arab modern history, distinguished and distinctive when compared with Arab state propaganda tools, and also with famous channels of the long-established international media. We set out to make a difference for the audience, long dependent on non-Arab sources of information. To achieve this, we made our motto, the opinion and the other opinion. And in fact, I am its author. We made it a commitment and a contract with the audience. You see, in tribal and totalitarian political systems of government, there is one and only opinion, and that is of the regime or the tribal leader. To give a platform for the other opinion by a medium of news and information in an Arab state, and a relatively small one in area and size, population was going to be revolutionary. Our commitment to the motto impacted on all fronts: political, social, regional, and international. The channel proved to be a hit among Arab viewers in their homeland and abroad. In fact, our sponsor, the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, has been the visionary behind the idea of establishing this channel, and he supports us financially and morally, and would continue to do so, he said, as long as we as journalists continued to do our job professionally. From the beginning, we had protests from regimes intolerant of the other, as we started to relay news in a way unknown before in the Arab world and the Arab media, even in terms of style and vocabulary. Al Jazira seemed to talk differently. Honorific titles have disappeared when mentioning, for instance, or addressing or referring to a monarch, president, prime minister, or any other high-ranking official. There was no His Majesty, Excellency, Eminence, etc., as has been the case by all other channels in the Arab world. Opposition figures and even Israeli politicians have been given equal time and opportunity to put their side of the story. Discussing taboo issues was the peak of daring and broke the mold of state of oppressive hold on the sources of information. We stuck to journalistic principles of accuracy, balance, and fairness, which became an integral part of our editorial standards, equal to any other independent and professional international media. We applied these to our hourly news bulletins and our discussion programs, which have been informative, penetrating, and comprehensive, whether about local, regional, or international issues. With our credibility established over a short period of time, these programs became a platform for public participation with live phone-ins, with no censorship or even delay mechanism. We have occupied a unique position impacting on public opinion with the acquired role of a pan-Arab channel for the masses and not speaking for any state or government. Under the same principles, we discussed emotive issues from Palestine, Iraq, Sudan, Somalia, and the Western Sahara, to the rights of women and minority groups, and even the dictatorial practices of Arab regimes, and the near absence of human rights in the majority of cases.